Alright guys, you're welcome to my next tutorial. And the last time I created a tutorial of insertion sorts using Python. The idea is basically the same thing. You may want to watch that tutorial first if you don't have the knowledge of what insertion sort is. In that tutorial I explained the reasoning behind the workings of insertion sort, and I implemented the algorithm using Python. For those who are not used to Python, who probably understand Java, today I'll try to implement exactly the same algorithm in Java. So let's see how we implement that in Java. So we're implementing insertion sort in Java. So let's declare our class and have a public class insertion sort, and we have a class. So let's have our main method, public static void main. Now we have string args, and this is the end of main method. Alright, so in our class, let's define our function, the insertion sort function, the method. So let's call it the insertion sort method. So we declare it as a public, and it's going to return lists of array insertion sort, and it's going to take an array with A. So end of insertion sort method. Okay, so just like we did the last time, we just implement the base case. So we receive our array and we try to implement the base case. So if the length of our array, if a dot length is greater than 1, if it is greater than 0, because Java is a 0 index, so that is when we actually do something. So if it is greater than 0, then we do some stuff here. This is the end of if. So end of if statement. So we basically need to do something when this thing is having more than one element. That is, if the length is greater than 1. So once we are done with that, we just return A, which is the sorted list. So we look at our array. If it is greater than 1. If the length of the array is greater than 1, that is when we have a work to do. So just like we did the last time, we need to have a for loop that is going to run, but in Java the definition of a for loop is going to have a counter int j equals to 2, and we look at j to be less than equals to the length of our array, that is a dot length, and we increase our j plus plus. So this is our for loop. So end for loop. Inside our for loop, we're going to just doing the same thing like we did the last time. We're going to have another integer, so let's call it int I. We can just could declare our int I. We declare it outside here, doesn't really matter. Int I equals to 0. Then here we just say that our I is taking the value of j. So we now go inside the while loop and say while our I, that is which is j, is greater than, must be greater than 0, and essentially this is starting from the second element, so this should be 1. So while I is greater than 0, that means starting from 1, and we need to make sure that our a of I is out of order. That is, our a of I is less than, since we are sorting in non-increasing order, our a of I is less than our a of I minus 1. Then we can just have a while loop close, so end while loop, and inside the while loop we do our comparison, we do our swapping. So we do temp equals to our a of I that we need to swap. Essentially what we're trying to do here is we're trying to swap. So we're trying to swap here, swap a of I if swap a of I if it is out of place. So what we're doing is just to swap a of I. So put temp inside. So we need to declare our temp too. Initialize our temp. We initialize that to be equals to 0. That's one thing where Python is different from Java. In Python you don't have to do all this initialization that we have to do. So we can now replace our a of I with a of I minus 1, which is the previous element like I explained in the previous tutorial. Then we can now take our a of I minus 1 to be equals to temp. The logic behind swapping is simple. It's just you declare a temporary variable, put the element that you want to change, one of the elements, put it inside the temporary variable, so you back it up. Then whatever element that is here will be the one here on your right, then the other element will be here, then whatever element that is here will be the one on your right, then the last element will come here. That's just a trick for swapping. That means you have just swapped the two positions with the corresponding element. So that's essentially what we have. Then in order for us to continue, we need to decrement our I. So our I has to become I minus minus, so that it will just continue. So we can run something in a public static void main and just declare we can just call the insertion sort and create an object of it. Insertion sort is equal to new insertion sort, insertion sort. So then we can just make a call, use is to call the method, and you have insertion sort, call the method, and we give it a list. So we can just try one first and see. So you may want to print this out. We can just print it on the same line, or you can assign it a variable. So it's system.out.print ln, and we can just print this all at once. Hopefully, if you don't have any error, if there are no syntax error, we should be getting this thing right. So we have closed our class here. So this is the closing of our end class insertion sort. Okay, so let's save. So we're going to save with insertion sort. So we copy that insertion sort, and we need to save now. So let's save inside here, and we have a YouTube. Okay, so we can save here, and this will be .java, and we can now have our file. So that is saved. Then we can now go to here, and we run the program. So Java insertion sort, Java insertion sort, insertion sort .java. So hopefully we don't have any error. That should create us the byte file. We don't have any error inside. I hope it's terminating. Oh, we do have some error. So let's see, correct our errors and see what is going on. It's part of the learning process. Insertion sort, new insertion sort, and we have an error in insertion sort. Okay, says there's an error, there is an expected so let's see how many we have. This closes this, this closes this. So we shouldn't have that error. This close this, this close this. So and in our insertion sort, we are calling this method. We have it as a list. Oh, essentially that's one of the problem of syntax. List in Java should be represented that way if I'm correct. Let's save it. What else is the problem? No, okay. So we have a reachable statement. What is the problem? We have end of each statement. Okay, this should have this, and let's see what that gives us. Okay, that's correct. What other problem are we having there? So end of arrow. So where's the problem here? I thought insertions. That should not be a problem. Is our list represented? Oh, okay. Let me declare a list. Let me just say the list is 2, 4, 1. Hopefully that will work. Hopefully that will not give us problem. Okay, so the end of if statement, 41. If this, end of if statement. Oh, so we didn't close our if, so we need to close if. So this closes while, this closes for. Yeah, this closes if. So what's the problem? There is a semicolon in line 41. Oh, great, end of if statement. So we're supposed to have comment line here. So let's put our comment line. Okay. So hopefully shouldn't have problem anymore. So we still have one more error. Okay, non-static. So we can just make this static, and let's see what we have. So good. So we can now say Java insertion sort. So array index out of band error. So we need to look at that. Something with array index out of band. So our I is starting from the 0 and temp is 0, and we're saying that we're giving I to be the value of j. So we're saying okay, so essentially we don't have to reach the last element because it's going to give us problem. So we need to rerun that and Java. So what do we have? objects. So let us it's giving us a list object. So we can't just print list out. So we need to iterate to be able to print out list in Java. Some of the problem of syntax. In Python we can just print list, but in Java you have to iterate before you can print lists. Do a for loop and declare another counter. Let's call it C equals to 0, and we are like C less than the length of our results. So here we just declare our results, call the results, and we put the returned inside a, let's call it a return. That is the return list. So as long as it's less than a underscore dot length, and we increase our C plus plus, then we can go into our for loop, end for loop, and we can print. We can just print out our A on every line, or we can print it in different line. So we can just print the A of R, A underscore R of C. So to pick each one of them. For us to print it on the same line, we can just take this away and concatenate that with space. So I think we should be set now. So let's see what we have. So this should give us this. The problem again, we did not put semicolon. That's syntax error between Java and Python. They have to be put in semicolon in Java. So what else are we having? We're having a problem again. Our this has not been initialized, so that's another thing. So you need to have initialized it before we can use it. Let's initialize this. Int A of R. I hope you can do with that. So serious coming to Java, coming back to Java after moving to Python, you have to do all the syntax. So finally we are here. We have our sorting 1 2 5, given 2 5 1, and we're able to sort it as 1 2 5. Let's see if we have some more, like 9, like 8, like 3, so 1 2 3, like 4, 6 7, like 7, like 6. So we shall 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So let's see what this gives us. And so we have Java, and we have our Java. So that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Thank you very much for listening. I'm sure somebody out there will have been able to see and gain something from this tutorial. Please, if you do like the tutorial, please do give us a thumb up and if you don't like it, you give us a dislike. All this will help us to improve on subsequent tutorials. Thank you very much.